back door, finding McCraven, pass a little high for him. McCraven at a reset, puts it up off the glass, good.
Down to Hallie Crockett, her second baseball pass up the floor to Abby Richmond. Right-handed layup for 2.
Go backing and backing, gets stalled again, and picks up 2 points. So 2-point takedown.
The puck tries to reverse along the boards, taken away by Parker. In front, another goal! Parker tees up Brody Schultz.
Little right-handed dribble, goes to Reichel, deep three-pointer on the way! That's good.
Up the floor, Severson over to Bevins, all alone, steps up, shoots the 3, and it's good.
Ulstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
And a good Tuesday evening on KLK we're on the Gobbler. There we are, KKIN AM 930 FM translator 103.1 for those also tuning in at rjbroadcasting.com. Paul Volda this evening as the Aitkin Gobblers take on the Detroit Lakers tonight here with homegrown local radio. And for those also tuning in with the video stream at rjbroadcasting.com as well as yourliveevent.com. That's where those video and, of course, our video broadcast tonight coming to you as well. The Aitkin Gobblers back in Mid-State Conference action tonight after a little bit of a road trip. They get a quick trip at home here tonight as they host the 10-6 Detroit Lakers. Paul Vold on the airwaves tonight with, of course, Jeremy Jansen on the pregame show. Gobblers riding off a victory this past Friday where they snapped their 3-game losing streak, winning 64-63 against the Park Rapids area Panthers, a game where the Gobblers got off to a fast start, including a 13-0 run to open up the ball game, but they held a 19-point lead at the halftime. Second half, things started to get a little bit cold for the Gobblers, where they ultimately came out and snuck out with a 1-point lead in that contest, but the performance late in the second half not indicative of that score as well, with the Gobblers having control and a couple of long three-pointers made just near the end of that contest for Park Rapids. But 4 different scores in double digits for the Gobblers, something that they've been looking to establish throughout the whole season as well. And tonight, they have a tall task against them, pun intended as well. A little bit of size and definitely some athletic ability to the side of the Detroit Lakers. Jeremy, this one's going to be, feels like it's going to be a physical matchup tonight for the Gobblers.
Yeah, the Gobblers come into this game, as you said, riding that one-game winning streak, but a different task here. A very athletic, up and down the floor, going to trap you, going to press you, play physical basketball at both ends of the floor. So Gobblers got a big task in front of them, but they did it at home here last year, and I think there's an opportunity tonight as well.
Detroit Lakes coming into tonight defeated Fergus Falls on Saturday 78-52 with, of course, 4 players in double digits led by Branson Marsh with 21 points, 13 rebounds. Also double digits from Oliver Quam, Mason Carrier, and Devin Berg. They've won 6 of their last 8 games for the Detroit Lakers and also are undefeated in conference play with a 2-0 record. Gobblers take on the Detroit Lakers here this evening. Much more coming up here on the pregame show. Of course, our conversation, Scott Stanfield coming up a little bit later on here with the pregame show. It's the Gobblers taking on Detroit Lakes tonight. Boys high school basketball here on KKIN, AM 930, FM translator 103.1, and also at yourliveevent.com.
If your vehicle has an unfortunate mishap, you want the best in quality bodywork. You need to take it to Aitkin Body Shop. They can handle any collision or auto glass repair, and they have a state-of-the-art facility and technology. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit them at 421 North Minnesota Avenue. Towing services also available. Give them a call at 218-927-2883. Remember the name that stands for quality and trust. That's Aitkin Body Shop, providing exceptional auto body collision and paint repair since 1974.
It's been more than just a family tradition since 1938. Purchasing a new Ford car, truck, or pre-owned vehicle from Aitkin Motors. Family owned and operated. Aitkin Motors offers you a stress-free car shopping experience. Need an oil change? New tires? Check out the low-price tire guarantee. Aitkin Motors has a full service department with factory-trained Ford technicians. For hours, appointments, and vehicle inventory, visit AitkinMotorsCO.com.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
My favorite teacher is Mr. Dustin Richters.
Favorite teacher is Mr. Miller.
Mr. Googe is my favorite teacher.
Definitely Miss Grader.
Definitely Miss Grader in class biology.
Mr. May.
Right now is psychology.
Mr. Smith's my favorite teacher.
Mr. May's science class.
Any art class.
Mr. May in my ornithology class.
We always practice good sportsmanship and respect.
Go Gobblers.
Go All-Stars.
My roots run deep. I dream of a world where planting a seed can bring forth the food and knowledge our world needs right now. The field is my classroom, and I have the power to make a difference. I am going to feed the world someday.
Cummings Jansen, your hometown realtor.
Welcome back tonight here from Aitkin High School on the Gobbler, KKIN, AM 930, FM translator 103.1 for those also tuning in to the video stream and yourliveevent.com. Paul Volt, Jeremy Jansen tonight as the Aitkin Gobblers take on the Detroit Lakes Lakers. One of 4 high school boys basketball broadcasts on the airwaves tonight. Of course, over on Skeeter 101.5. Park Rapids is at Crosby Ironton. We'll also have McGregor taking on Northland, ranked number 14 in Class A on Real Country 94.3. And Pequot Lakes is at Staples Motley tonight on Talk 100 KLKS. So a couple of good matchups on the airwaves tonight, including this one with the Aitkin Gobblers taking on the Detroit Lakes Lakers here this evening. Mid-state conference actions. The Gobblers 1-1 in mid-state conference action. Win and a loss. A win against Park Rapids. A loss against Crosby Ironton here from earlier this season. But of course, with this matchup tonight, it's been a split matchup, at least as of last year as well, with the Gobblers last season splitting against Detroit Lakes. A win against Detroit Lakes, make that 76-56 for the Gobblers, while Detroit Lakes ultimately beat the Gobblers 63-51 last year. But before that as well, it's been all Detroit Lakes and seeing some fairly light lopsided scores in this matchup between the Gobblers and the Lakers as well. But even more with this pregame show, Gobblers, of course, trying to find a little bit more consistency. And one thing that we've noticed as well, with it being a road test here for the Gobblers that was up until tonight, one player that's really kind of stood out when the Gobblers do hit the road is Andrew Martinson a little bit. He seems to kind of prefer to play on the road a little bit with double-digit performances in the points category. But as soon as he hits the home floor, it almost seems to, I don't want to say so much a kryptonite, but things kind of change a little bit for Andrew Martinson a little bit too, Jeremy.
You know, the one thing with Andrew is each game he's grown and gotten better, and we've seen those flashes. Even the game that we did at home the week before, you know, he had 5 points, 4 rebounds. He was active defensively, and so he's growing as a player throughout the season and be hopefully down the stretch be a big contributor.
We'll see more of Andrew Martinson, including that game against Park Rapids this past Friday where he was in the starting lineup. And, of course, Isaac Osman seeing more time. He ended up getting, 11 points in the win for the Gobblers. Braden Smith, Eli Christie, both with double-digit points as well. There's no surprise there. But even with the depth and the amount of experience these players for this team are getting now, halfway through into the second half of the schedule for the Gobblers, too. More and more experience with each game that goes by. Going to be crucial, including the last few games, of course, here with this homestand and obviously into the second part of the schedule, with there being a lot more games here between now and, of course, the end of the regular season. This time between late January, mid-February, we remember our conversations past with Coach Stanfield, really learn a lot about your team as well, with the amount of play and the amount of games you play in such a short amount of time, in about a 2-3 week stretch for your team.
Hey, you don't have a lot of time to prepare each night, and so you got to kind of do it on the fly. And the one thing the Gobblers have this year is they've got a deeper bench, and guys like Andrew and Ryan Alexander and guys that come off the bench provide some minutes. Is going to be big for the Gobblers here in the last month. So hopefully we can see the continued growth from those guys and see what happens tonight.
We'll talk more with, of course, the pregame show. Coach Scott Stanfield will join us here on the pregame show on the other side of this break. Aitkin Gobblers take on the Detroit Lakes Lakers tonight. Boys high school basketball here on the Gobbler, as well as yourliveevent.com.
Here in beautiful central Minnesota, we get to enjoy nature every day. At Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative, we understand because we live, work, and play here too. However, just because you're not in the big city doesn't mean you can't have access to great internet service. Let MLEC Fiber give you the fast and reliable internet you deserve. Check to see if MLEC Fiber is available where you live. Visit us online or call our office at 218-429-0433.
If your vehicle has an unfortunate mishap, you want the best in quality bodywork. You need to take it to Aitkin Body Shop. They can handle any collision or auto glass repair, and they have a state-of-the-art facility and technology. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit them at 421 North Minnesota Avenue. Towing services also available. Give them a call at 218-927-2883. Remember the name that stands for quality and trust. That's Aitkin Body Shop, providing exceptional auto body collision and paint repair since 1974.
It's been more than just a family tradition since 1938. Purchasing a new Ford car, truck, or pre-owned vehicle from Aitkin Motors. Family owned and operated. Aitkin Motors offers you a stress-free car shopping experience. Need an oil change? New tires? Check out the low-price tire guarantee. Aitkin Motors has a full service department with factory-trained Ford technicians. For hours, appointments, and vehicle inventory, visit AitkinMotorsCO.com.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
My favorite teacher is Mr. Dustin Richters.
Favorite teacher is Mr. Miller.
Mr. Googe is my favorite teacher.
Definitely Miss Grader.
Definitely Miss Grader in class biology.
Mr. May.
Right now is psychology. Mr. Smith's my favorite teacher.
Mr. May's science class.
Any art class.
Mr. May in my ornithology class.
We always practice good sportsmanship and respect.
Go Gobblers.
Go All-Stars.
My roots run deep. I dream of a world where planting a seed can bring forth the food and knowledge our world needs right now. The field is my classroom, and I have the power to make a difference. I am going to feed the world someday.
Welcome back tonight to KKIN AM 930 FM Translator 103.1 The Gobbler and on YourLiveEvent.com as the Aitkin Gobbler boys take on Detroit Lakes tonight. Boys high school basketball on a Tuesday night. Now we catch up with head coach for Aitkin Gobbler, Scott Stanfield, joins us here on the pregame show. Coach, as always, thanks again for joining us tonight.
Good to see you, Paul.
We get going here, of course, with tonight's contest against Detroit Lakes, but, of course, getting into, of course, the conference part of your schedule here in the latter half of the season, too. Park Rapids got up big early, got off to a fast start. You get up 19 at the half, and second half was a battle, to say the least, but your team comes out with a 64-63 win at Park Rapids as well. Coach, tale of two halves, I would imagine, for that one. What do you remember from that contest this past week? Of course, ultimately your team gets the win in that one.
Yeah, like I said, we got up big. Second half, we were still up big, and kind of hit that 7-minute stretch, and we cooled off, and they hit some really long threes that kept them in the game, and down the stretch they fouled us, and we couldn't convert on free throws again. The one-on-ones we missed, and they closed the gap. We were up by 7 with 11 seconds left, so the game was pretty well decided, but a kid hit 2 really long threes, one at the buzzer to close it down to a 1-point lead, but that game was probably a 12-15 point game in our favor most of the way, but we continue to struggle at the line, and it's something more mental and physical that we got to overcome. So we hope down the stretch here that becomes better, because it's cost us at least 3 games, and we don't want that to happen anymore. So I know the kids are focused. It's just they got to get over the hump mentally on it.
Coach, of course, we've noted here throughout the season when your teams have been in some tight losses, they've played really well. And, of course, in that game against Park Rapids, your team got off to a fast start shooting-wise and ultimately get 4 players in double digits. But as the second half, like you said, you hit that 7-minute stretch where maybe shots not going your way, free throws as well. What do you see, of course, when you do get the wins, of course, that have been tight as well, compared to the losses where your team's been playing really well, but maybe a couple of factors that have swung one way or another? But, obviously with the wins, there have been some, things to clean up. What do you see as a difference from those wins compared to losses?
Yeah, well, at Park Rapids, we shot close to 50% from the field, which is really high. And what we got to decide as a team and as a coaching staff, as a coach, it's always easier to play from behind than it is 4 to 6 points ahead with 3 minutes left or whatever that time period is, because you're caught between should we hold it or should we keep attacking. So we got to discover what our identity is going to be there and go from there. If we could make free throws, that wouldn't be an issue, but we're struggling at the line, so our game plan might be just keep attacking and let the chips fall where they may. But that was the biggest thing. Just shooting from the field was much better. I thought Andrew Martinson in the starting lineup and Isaac Osmus also started his first start, played really well and gave us a little punch on both sides of the ball. Andrew is 6'3", 6'4", and with Isaac in there with his size, it kind of stymied him for a period of time. So that was good to see, and so that's good depth. We want depth and we need it, and we'll continue to mix those guys in and mix the starting lineups in, but that was good to see.
Coach, talking about the depth of your team now here into a part of your schedule, like we said, we're back in mid-state conference action. Detroit Lakes tonight, of course, they're a team that's, won 6 of their last 10 games as well. They've got a little bit of size to their advantage, too. What do you see here with this matchup against the Lakers tonight?
Well, they're way more athletic than we are and physically stronger at every spot. So we're going to have to, really move well on defense, box out, try to take their athleticism away with some zone defense, and play our pace and our tempo. And we'll have to shoot over the top well. I mean, it's going to be tough inside for us to score. So we'll need that, 12 to 18 foot range shot to go in for us. And if it does, we'll be in the game, and we hope that's the case tonight.
Coach, as always, we appreciate the time for coming on the pregame show. Best of luck tonight.
You bet. Thank you.
Head coach for your Aitkin Gobblers, that being Scott Stanfield on the pregame show. The Aitkin Gobblers take on the Detroit Lakes Lakers tonight here from Aitkin High School. So it's going to be a battle for the Gobblers. They're going to have to get physical and still try to get back out and maybe try to steal a few buckets in transition. But that is going to be the task here tonight. The Aitkin Gobblers just one win in their last 4 games, but sitting at 6-10, while Detroit Lakes is 10-6. On the season. We'll take a break here on the pregame show. We'll get to the starting lineups. The opening tip as the Aitkin Gobblers take on the Detroit Lakes Lakers tonight here on KKIN AM 930 FM 103.1 The Gobbler and yourliveevent.com.
Here in beautiful central Minnesota, we get to enjoy nature every day. At Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative, we understand because we live, work, and play here too. However, just because you're not in the big city doesn't mean you can't have access to great internet service. Let MLEC Fiber give you the fast and reliable internet you deserve. Check to see if MLEC Fiber is available where you live. Visit us online or call our office at 218-429-0433.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's JERRID.
I'm dreaming of a world where thinkers and doers collide, where technology creates pathways for new opportunities and ideas. I want to ask questions and shape the answers that lead to real and meaningful advancements in this digital era. I'm going to innovate the world someday.
Riverwood Healthcare Center in Aitkin provides total joint care for shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, hands, and wrists. Our team of highly skilled orthopedic surgeons use innovative procedures to increase mobility and reduce pain. Get back to the activities you enjoy. Learn more at riverwoodhealthcare.org. Riverwood Healthcare, your trusted leader for orthopedics and sports medicine.
I'm dreaming of a world where everyone has the opportunity for education. Where classrooms are not only a place to learn, but to make an impact. I will help the next generation of game changers and difference makers. I am going to teach the world someday.
Here in beautiful central Minnesota, we get to enjoy nature every day. At Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative, we understand because we live, work, and play here too. However, just because you're not in the big city doesn't mean you can't have access to great internet service. Let MLEC Fiber give you the fast and reliable internet you deserve. Check to see if MLEC Fiber is available where you live. Visit us online or call our office at 218-429-0433.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
Mr. May's ornithology class.
My last 6 years on the Aitkin All-Stars.
Going to Rumble on the Red wrestling tournament.
It's going to the state tournament last year for wrestling.
Making one of those last-minute shots against Crosby.
Going to state my 10th grade year for wrestling.
The Virginia tournament during basketball.
My chemistry class last year.
I would say the Virginia tournament.
Going to state my freshman year for dance.
Being able to participate in multiple sports teams.
We always practice good sportsmanship and respect. Go Gobblers.
Go All-Stars.
Tires, check out the low price tire guarantee. Aitkin Motors, family owned and operated, serving the area for over 84 years. For hours, appointments, and vehicle inventory, visit AitkinMotorsCO.com.
Welcome back here this evening on KKIN AM 930 FM translator 103.1 and also available at yourliveevent.com. Paul Vole, Jeremy Jansen tonight. Aitkin Gobblers playing host to the Detroit Lakes Lakers as we get ready for this Mid-State Conference boys basketball matchup. We get a look here at the starting lineups for both teams, starting first with the 10-6 Detroit Lakes Lakers here this evening, coming out of Section 8-3A. Starting lineup for them will include number 3, a senior shooting guard at 6'1" in Ethan Carrier. Number 5 is a junior point guard at 6 foot in Devin Berg. Number 22 is a senior shooting forward at 6'2" in Oliver Quam. Number 23 is a junior shooting forward at 6'2" in Mason Carrier. And number 24 is a junior shooting forward at 6'5" in Branton Marsh. While head coach for the Detroit Lakes Lakers is Brett Moss, assisted by Austin Dodd, Braden Hoagie, and Joe Berquist for the Lakers. Home team tonight being your Aitkin Gobblers. Their starting lineup will roll like this. Number 0 is a senior point guard at 5'11". That's Eli Christie. While number 3 is a junior point guard, a shooting guard, I should say, at 5'10" in Braden Smith. Number 15 is a senior shooting forward at 6'3" in Alex Palm. Number 23 is a junior point guard at 5'11" in Brecken Williams. And getting the start tonight, the freshman center at 6'8". That is Isaac Osmus for head coach Scott Stanfield in his second season with the Gobblers, assisted by Daryl Smith, Greg Hills, and Ben Schwartz. Gobblers in the home blacks tonight. Aitkin across the chest in white with red trim. Numbers in red with white trim. Lakers in the road whites tonight. Lakers in red with blue trim. Numbers and letters going across the chest of the uniform here tonight. DL on the side of the shorts in the chevron pattern for the Detroit Lakers. Isaac Osman's getting his second start of the season for the Gobblers as well, setting the tone because they know the size early on here going to be a factor for the Gobblers right out of the gate, Jeremy.
Yeah, Isaac's first start at home, and it's always fun to get those opportunities to start in front of a home crowd, and Gobblers going to start big tonight, so should be fun.
Gobblers will be playing up against 6'1", 6 foot, 6'2", 6'2", and 6'5" Branton Marsh, the 6'5" Catalyst. He will take the opening tip against Isaac Osman. So you get a junior against a freshman to take the opening tip. Branton Marsh against Isaac Osman. 18 minutes on the scoreboard. Opening tip, one and controlled as we get a stoppage here off the opening tip here. We get a re-jump here.
Yeah, he got it. Didn't get it. He got it on the way up. Didn't get to it.
All right, so we're going to get a re-jump here. Fresh 18 minutes. Only 1 second came off the clock. Now the opening tip is won and controlled once again by the Detroit Lakes Lakers. It'll be set up by Devin Berg across the timeline. Works it over left side for Ethan Carrier. Back to Berg at the top of the circle. Works it down low for number 24, and Branton Marsh dishes it back up top now to the top of the right side. Poked out of the air by the Gobblers, but controlled by Devin Berg from the top of the circle. Now works it right side to Mason Carrier. Into the right corner for Branton Marsh once again. Looks for a screen. Pass back out to the wing. Inside to the perimeter. Now for down low in the paint. Pushing his way through. Turnaround shot with the right hand. No good. Rebound loose. Picked up by the Gobblers and Brecken Williams. The shot initially by number 22 to Oliver Quam. First possession for the Gobblers as they bring it across the timeline with Brecken Williams getting the start tonight for the Gobblers. Top of the right side. Now to Eli Christie. Christie looks for a pass left corner now to Braden Smith. Skip pass back up top. Now inside. Now to the left side. Deep three on the left wing. Shot no good from the likes of Braden Smith. Rebounded down to Branton Marsh. We'll give it the other way now for the Lakers. Driving in from the lane. Now up with a left-handed shot, or at least going to try and pass it back out now, is going to be a stolen pass from the Gobblers. It's going to be Eli Christie. Rolls it up. Left-handed scoop is good for the first points of the night for the Gobblers. Up 2-0. Been some time since we've seen the Gobblers get off to an early lead. Of course, scoring the first points of the game here in this home gymnasium. Marsh from the left elbow. Stops. Pops his shot. Good. Back the other way for two more. Points to the side of the Lakers. We're tied at 2 with 16:25 to go in this first half. Alex Palm gets the ball. Now back to Brecken Williams as he takes it from his own free throw line and dishes it across the timeline, works it left side. Gobblers will establish the offense with Eli Christie to Braden Smith, left wing. Almost draws a double team. Cross-court heave now down low. Off the chest of Palm, regathers. Brecken Williams left all alone for a three. He knocks it down. Brecken Williams. 5-2 the start here for the Gobblers. 15:52 and counting downward left here in this first half. Lakers down low, spinning shot up and under. Nice finish from number 22, that being Oliver Quam. 5-4 the score. Good response from the Lakers after that three-pointer. Skip pass across the timeline now for Eli Christie to Brecken Williams. Now to the right side. Williams with the handle. Now to Christie. Thought about the in-rhythm three. Will keep it himself. In the left corner now for Braden Smith. Draws that double team. Gets it back to Christie. Christie, scoop pass inside. What a touch. What? No, can't quite finish it. Could Alex Palm. It would have been a dime of a catch. And also a shot as Branton Marsh drives. He loses the handle and will go out of bounds. Last touch by the Lakers. Turnover on them as Marsh kind of stopped just outside the lane and gave it right back to Aitkin. Gobblers will bring the offense now as Osmus across the timeline, just stepping out of bounds, it looks like. Maybe along the sideline as Braden Smith and Eli Christie were both vying for the ball as went backwards maybe, as the official made the call on the far side of the court. We'll explain it to Coach Stanfield. 15:08 here to play in this first half. 5-4 is the lead as wet ball looks like. We'll get the towel out for the game ball here. Now we'll get
they're saying that it wasn't an over and back. I think he stepped out of bounds.
Okay, that's what I thought. It looked like from down here, it was right below our feet, that it could have potentially been out of bounds. Reestablishing himself inbounds. Wasn't quite there, but the Gobblers turn over the basketball. Now Devin Berg from the free throw line, left side, down low to Marsh. Quick ball handling from the Lakers. Back out, Carrier, back to Berg, into the right corner now. Berg with the handle, down low to Marsh. Into the right corner for Carrier, fires up a shot, short of the mark, rebounded down to Alex Palm. Ethan Carrier with the missed shot from the Lakers. 14.5 to play here in this first half. 5-4, Aitkin with the advantage. Brecken Williams, cross-court heave once again. Down low to Palm. Draws that double team outside the paint to Christie. Braden Smith, left corner. Skip pass back to Christie. Down low, trying to find is Isaac Osmus, just a bit out of his reach as Eli Christie with a bullet pass inside just beyond the reach of Osmus. Takes a half step closer to the basket. He's got an opportunity to put that in for two.
It was a good pass, just I don't think Isaac was ready for that.
Missed shot from the Lakers on the other end of the floor. Rebounded down to Christie. Gives it right back to the Gobblers. Christie in transition. Deep three, left side. Front of the iron, no good. Rebounded down to Marsh. Marsh a 3-on-2 the other way. Right side, lays it up and in for two. Does Oliver Quam. A 6-4 lead now as Quam hits the deck. Coming back in transition, but back up quickly. Lakers with the advantage at 6-5. Braden Smith comes back the other way, slows up the offense with Brecken Williams getting the handle of the basketball. Inside to that being the likes of Isaac Osmonds. Back out to Brecken. Shot no good. Rebounded down to number 3 and Ethan Carrier. He'll take it himself before he hands it off to Devin Berg. Berg across half court, 13.5 to go in the first half. 6-5 the score. Got a foul called behind the play. Looks like the foul called against Aitkin. And this will go against, looks like Eli Christie, judging by his demeanor. It'll be his first and first foul of the contest as well with 13:30 to go in this first half. Gobblers down 6-5 against Detroit Lakes. Substitution in for the Gobblers. We'll see Andrew Martinson check in for the first time tonight. He will go up against, of course, the likes of Detroit Lakes, and taking out will be Alex Palm, I should say. 13:28 to go. Left side now for number 23 and Mason Carrier. Down low to Devin Berg inside the paint. Now just outside the lane into the right corner now for Ethan Carrier. It's almost taken away by Eli Christie in the right corner for a three. Devin Berg's three, no good. Rebounded down to Braden Smith. Three from the right corner, no good for the Lakers as Brecken Williams brings it across half court to Eli Christie. Christie looks for a pass right side to Brecken Williams. Movement from the offense for the Gobblers. Picks something up into the right corner for Braden Smith, right in front of the bench for the Lakers, and we'll get a kickball against Detroit Lakes and stay with Aitkin.
I believe this pace here, Paul, is going to benefit the Gobblers. They don't slower pace. You know, a team that scores, Detroit Lakes puts up numbers on the board is going to benefit the Gobblers.
Coach Stanfield talked about it in the pregame show. As athletic of a team as Detroit Lakes is, has a stolen inbound from Brandon Marsh. Loose ball across half court, keeping it as Marsh. Almost could have been an over and back, and it's stolen away by Eli Christie. He'll take it himself, lays it up and in, and it's going to be goaltending the call as the near block from Mason Carrier. It'll be goaltending to Eli Christie. He'll get the 2 points to go up and in. Goaltending call against the Lakers. Almost the second time that's happened here tonight with the jumping ability
good
of
hustle.
The Lakers. Yeah,
hustle back by Brandon Marsh there.
7-6 Gobblers lead with the Lakers. Now with the ball, Marsh down low, gets it to Carrier. Ethan Carrier, his shot blocked by Osmus halfway up and regains it for the Gobblers.
Good defensive play there by Martinson and collected the rebound.
Martinson and Osmus down low. Getting movement for the Gobblers on the defensive end as well. Right side, Ryan Alexander into the contest for the first time tonight for Aitkin. To Brecken Williams. Right corner for Alexander. He'll drive baseline. Stops, pops his shot off the front of the rim. No good. Loose rebound picked up by Mason Carrier. Carrier will take, Oliver Quam will lay it up and in for two. Quam for two. We go back and forth. Now 8-7 in favor of Detroit Lakes. 11:52 to go in the first half. Brecken Williams takes his time. Skip pass up to the front court now for Ryan Alexander. Pass blocked through the middle of the floor. Ball on the floor. Isaac Osmus, Andrew Martinson up and in for two. Nice play from Martinson, and Osmus also in there using that length to break up the near turnover from the Gobblers. Gobblers back in front by one at 9-8. Down low, Quam, Marsh through a triple team, and we get a foul called against Aitkin. Gobblers holding resolve thus far here, as looks like we'll get to the free throw line.
Interesting. I didn't think that was a shooting foul.
Marsh, if anything, was looking for a pass, or he was looking to catch the ball on a pass. Is at the line. Marsh shooting two. Foul called against Aitkin. That will go against somebody. Eli Christie. Going to be his second foul already. One on the scoreboard for him so far, tied at 9 after that first free throw made by Marsh. Second free throw is no good, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Aitkin, and will come back to the Lakers. Into the ball game for Aitkin as well is seeing, looks like Nathan Price in. and also Braden Smith at the same time. As Ryan Alexander and Isaac Osmus out for the Gobblers. Changes as well on the other side for Detroit Lakes. Mason Omberg in for the first time tonight. Hunter Korth as well, wearing number 10. Ball loose out on the floor. It's going to be picked up. Turnaround shot from Quam. No good. Loose rebound picked up now by Andrew Martinson. Stretching the floor to Braden Smith. Gets it over to Brecken Williams straight on to Braden Smith. Room to work with. Doesn't fire it off as it's going to be a turnover stolen away by Omberg. In the lane, Korth loses the handle. Loose ball handle into the hands of number 21, then being Mason Omberg, and it's 11-9 lead. Detroit Lakes after the turnover, leading to an easy bucket the other way. 10:44 to go here in this first half. 11-9 the score here up until those last couple of possessions, Jeremy. Been fairly even, back and forth. Gobblers slowing things on offense. Well, Detroit Lakes looks to, really push the pace here.
Right, and that half-court set they run is active, but the Gobblers have done a nice job keeping hands in passing lanes, limiting that ball movement for the Lakers, and so slowed the pace down and giving the Gobblers an opportunity.
Right now, currently, it is 11-9 the score here with 10:44 to play. In this first half, Detroit Lakes on top of Aitkin here on KKIN, AM 930, FM 103.1, The Gobbler, and also at rjbroadcasting.com with the audio stream, video stream at yourliveevent.com. Gobblers trailing 11-9 with Eli Christie. A couple of fouls to him as it's going to be last touch by Detroit Lakes, and will stay with the Gobblers. Foul called against number 23, Mason Carrier. Team's first, Mason Carrier as well. With 10:40 to go in this first half. 11-9 the score. Gobblers bring it up to the front court with Braden Smith. Left corner now. Martinson to Nathan Price. Cross corner heave as it's going to be stolen away out to the front court with Hunter Korth. Going to fire up a three-pointer on the way, short of the mark from number 5 in Devin Berg. Andrew Martinson throws it backwards before he gets to the half-court line. Martinson playing with fire on that near turnover of a pass. Braden Smith in the left corner to Eli Christie. Left side, room to work with, and a travel call. No, he stepped out of bounds with the basketball. Did Braden Smith and turns it over.
6 turnover for the Gobblers, 2 on the night for the Lakers.
11-9 the score. We'll see number 22, Oliver Quam, check out, as that will bring back in, I believe, number 24, Brandon Marsh, off the bench as well. Stolen away by Eli Christie. Christie, one-on-one the other way. Euro step in the lane, leaves it up. Basket will count, and he is fouled. The Magic Man comes through with a big bucket for the Gobblers. Ties it up at 11 with 9:53 to go in the first half. And one free throw good. Now 2 fouls apiece. I believe it was Omberg on the foul for Detroit Lakes. Number 21 there in transition.
They still only have 1 foul for Eli. When the guy went to the scores table, he had a different number, but Dave, our PA announcer, said it was on Eli.
Yes, so 2 fouls for Eli Christie. We're going to mark him down for 2. And a steal by Eli Christie the other way. Tries to force a pass as he's going to be fouled in the process. Who was looking for Braden Smith in transition on that right wing, as he will be taken down, and a foul called against number 5 in Devin Berg. Now 3 fouls to Detroit Lakes here. Foul on the floor, it seems. Down low as the Gobblers get it right back. Alex Palm left alone, and he had space to work with. An easy jump shot for him. Gobblers back up now by the score of 14-11. Detroit Lakes now contending with Aitkin's defense. It'll be to Mason Carrier. Loses the handle. Now gets it back to Devin Berg. Carrier will drive from the right elbow. Basket will count, and they're going to call charge. It's a charge against Detroit Lakes, and it was Andrew Martinson drawing the contact.
Mason Carrier, I think that's his 2nd tonight.
Have him down for 2 as well. 14-11, 9:08 to play. Confirmed 2 fouls as Carrier and Hunter Korth will come out. Checking in for the first time tonight, Reese Borgman for the Lakers. Martinson in transition. Right corner, to Nathan Price to Eli Christie. Looks for a pass, now gets it to Brayton Smith. Right corner, Martinson was open, didn't see the pass coming through. Now to Brayton Smith, give and go with Christie. Christie to Nathan Price at the free throw line, back out to Christie. Christie will run as he'll lose the handle coming off the left to free throw lane. Devin Berg in transition, lays it up and in, gets the shot to fall right in for the Lakers at 14-13. 8.5 to go in the first half as turned over the Gobblers. Thought maybe looking for a tip, Stanfield and the Gobblers, but Aitkin turns it over. Detroit Lakes will get the ball back, trailing by 1 at 14-13.
Now they have the second foul on the board for Eli.
Eli now with 7 points here in this first half, 7 of the 14. Off the fingers of Reese Borgman, him and Mason Ohnberg going back and forth as the turnover that way gives it right back to Aitkin with 8:21 to go in the first half. Braden Smith will inbound right below our feet. Here from the broadcast booth, now to Brecken Williams. He'll take it across half court. Andrew Martinson on the right wing, pass down low, going to be blocked out of the air, trying to find that pass down low to Alex Ballman. Swatted out, hit the backboard from Devin Berg. He'll handle it at the top of the circle. Travel called against him. A turnover by the Lakers the other side.
6 turnover for the Lakers, 9 so far for the Gobblers.
We'll see Isaac Osman's back in as Nathan Price off the bench tonight will get a break. And now the combination of Williams, Smith, Martinson, Palm, and Osmus on the floor for the Gobblers. To Osmus from the left elbow. Left corner, now on the wing for Braden Smith. 3 is no good, fight for a rebound, and we get a foul called on the rebound as Andrew Martinson was pushed out of the way, it seems. And we'll get the 5th foul of the first half here for the Detroit Lakers. At one point, it was 2 fouls to nothing. Aitkin, 5 straight now called against Detroit Lakes. 14-13 remains the score. Isaac Osmond's in the paint. Left corner, right corner that is, for Brecken Williams, no good. Rebounded to Reese Borgman as a foul will be called on the floor there. And it'll be assessed to Aitkin. Brecken Williams, the old broadcaster's jinx there on that one.
Yeah.
That'll come back to hurt you in more ways than one. 7:37 to play here in this first half. 14-13 to score. Devin Berg avoids the travel. Down low in the corner from Marsh. Out on the right wing. Turned over a last touch by the Lakers. In the area of Oliver Quam. Him and Eli Christie have been going at it here so far tonight. Good battle on both ends of the floor for both players. 7.5 to go in the first half. 14-13 the score here on yourliveevent.com as well as KKIN AM 930 and FM 103.1. Across half court for Brecken Williams. Looks to that left corner for Andrew Martinson. 3 on the way for Martinson, no good. Rebound is going to be collected by Mason Carrier, who'll give it up to Devin Berg across half court. Berg to Carrier, left side for Quam. And a travel call as the referee had an eagle-eye view of the feet of Carrier. And we'll call a timeout, Coach Moss, for the Detroit Lakers. 7:09 to play in the first half. 14-13 the score. Aitkin leads Detroit Lakes boys high school basketball here on KKIN and yourliveevent.com.
I'm dreaming of a world where the crack of a bat is not just a hobby, but a lifestyle. Where I can build upon long traditions from the ground up. I want to work in an industry where all people can make their own field of dreams become reality. I'm going to elevate the world of sports someday.
Welcome back here on KKIN, AM 930, FM 103.1, The Gobbler, as well as yourliveevent.com. Detroit Lakers trailing your Aitkin Gobblers 14-13. Paul Volt, Jeremy Jansen, the road struggles here for the Detroit Lakers. You look at their 10-6 record, they're just 4-4 on the road here this season, Jeremy.
Yeah, you know, and you look at their scores, they do play well at home. They had a struggle over in Staples, you know, a 10-point game to State with not taking anything away from the Cardinals, but, you know, a game that they probably would have liked to win by 20.
14-13 our score as the Gobblers try to bring it up to the front court. Brecken Williams and also Braden Smith play give and go. Braden left with some room. He's going to fire three. Good for the first time tonight. Braden Smith dials it up from downtown. And a timeout taken, or going to redo the inbound here?
No, the net was stuck from that swisheroo.
Gotcha. Braden Smith knocking down his first three of the night, leading the way. Eli Christie, 7 points, 6 points as well for Oliver Quam to lead the Detroit Lakers. 17-13 our score. Aitkin with 6:45 to go in the first half. Quam with the handle of the ball just outside the lane. Active hands from Andrew Martinson and a foul call defensively against the Lakers. I believe that's going to be Quam with his second.
Yep.
That's the 16th foul of the half, second for Quam.
Kind of a turnover and little retaliation foul and got the reach.
Andrew Martinson tonight getting the start tonight on the home floor. A bit of a coming out party here on the home floor for Martinson, at least so far here through this first half. 6.5 to go in the first half. Gobblers lead by 4 at 17-13. Right corner for Martinson to Isaac Osmus. Eli Christie keeps it himself, fakes the pass, fires the three off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound tipped out of the air. Fight for it into the right corner. It's outletted now to Devin Berg for the Lakers. He'll go from the right wing, draws himself down low in the post. Martinson, good transition defense, not allowing the easy layup down low to Berg. Berg with it just outside the paint. Free throw line, skip pass down low. Left corner, three on the way from Berg, out the side of the rim, no good. Rebounded down to Carrier once again. Going up against Andrew Martinson will get the bank shot to go for Mason Carrier to make it now 17-15. 17-15 to play. Bullet pass inside to Isaac Osmus. Left-handed layup is good. Lakers caught sleeping defensively. Now back up to a 4-point lead again at 19-15.
Good ball movement by the Gobblers there in transition.
Quam dishes it back out to Berg. He'll drive, stops, pops a shot from the free throw line. Osmus with a rebound after the missed shot off the back of the rim. Gobblers slowing things up according to Coach Stanfield. Brecken Williams bring it up across the timeline to Andrew Martinson in the left corner. Give and go between him and Eli Christie. Down low, Isaac Osmus for two more. 21-15. Gobblers with the advantage. 5 minutes to go in the first half. Quam pushes his way through, blocked, and they're going to call foul against Isaac Osmus on the block of Oliver Quam.
I disagree with that. It was all ball first.
Quam at 6'8", going up against the 6'2" Oliver Quam. That'll be his first, team's fourth of the half. Isaac Osmus with his first foul this evening. Looking for the first free throw action as well for Quam to net a pair, and he knocks down the first.
Second time to the line for the Lakers.
Andrew Martinson will check out for Aitkin. Brings back in Alex Palm for the Gobblers. One senior for another. Second free throw is good from Quam. 21-17. Largest lead of the night's been at 6, and that's been for the Gobblers, but consistently at 4 for Aitkin. As Eli Christie will bring it up with a full head of steam in transition to Braden Smith. Left with some room, three from the left wing, no good. Long rebound into the hands of Branton Marsh. Marsh loses the handle but regains it in the left wing to Mason Carrier. Carrier will lose the handle off. It bounces off his knee to Brecken Williams. Stripped away back to a shot no good from Mason Ohnberg. As the Gobblers come out with a loose ball to Eli Christie through the lane, Euro step, and the finish for Eli Christie. The Magic Man pulls another one out of the hat for the Gobblers. 23-17 the score, 4:15 to go. Three on the way, wide of the mark, fight for a rebound. It's going to be outletted back out to Devin Berg for another three. This one's good. Back to a one-possession lead for the Gobblers, 23-20. After the initial three was taken away, and the rebound to Mason Carrier. Gobblers bring it up to the front court with Brayton Smith. Left corner for Brecken Williams. Williams, cross-court heave to Eli Christie. Looks for the angle, throws up the floater outside the lane, no good. Rebounded down to Devin Berg. Berg comes the other way, stops, fires a three. It's good. Back-to-back threes from Berg. We are tied at 23. A game of runs. This time it belongs to the Lakers. We're tied at 23. Gobblers were up by 7 in this first half so far, but you can't let the Lakers stay in it too long, as Alex Palm is going to be fouled as he's trying to make a pass out of the lane.
Go to the lane here for a 1-and-1 for Alex.
Gobblers have had their woes at the free throw line when it comes to 1-and-1s on the front end, especially.
Get Ethan Carrier for his first foul.
Team 7th as well. Front end of the 1-and-1, Alex Palm at the line is good. 24-23, Gobblers with the lead. 3:23 to go here in this first half of boys high school basketball. Second free throw from Palm on its way, no good. Rebounded down to Brandon Marsh. Marsh will give it up to Mason Omberg. Omberg across the half-court line. Works it left side, just inside the arc, down low baseline. Marsh will flush it in for 2. And whistle after the shot. I think Isaac Osmus took a high hit through the lane there as he'll check off the play. Dad's going to come over, and I don't know if he got a nosebleed, quite possibly.
I think it was just a nosebleed. I don't think he took a
leakage from Big Red himself, that being Isaac Osmus. He'll check off the floor, brings in Nathan Price as the Gobblers down by 1 now at 24-25. High arcing pass to Brayton Smith across the timeline once again to Nathan Price now as it goes off his foot and collected by Brayton Smith. Smith, another high cross arcing pass now from wing to wing. They go now to Brayton Smith at the top of the key. Right side for Eli Christie. He'll drive from the right wing, throws a wild shot. Basket will cut, and he is fouled. Eli Christie, have a half, young man. Gobblers take the lead, 26-25, 11 points for Eli Christie. Baskets count, and he has fouled Brandon Marsh with his first, team's 8th of the half.
Eli's second time to the line. Second opportunity for an and one.
And it is good to complete the three-point play. Gobblers up to 27-25. 2.5 to go in the first half. Gobblers lead against Detroit Lakes. Across half court, right side, almost thrown away by Christie as he wanted that one away from Ethan Carrier. In the right corner, driving Marsh underneath the basket, loses the handle, and he will be fouled out on the floor here as Marsh will be impeded upon. It's like Williams and also Price in the area. They're going to give this one to Brecken, number 21.
Second.
Yes. Team's 5th of the half as well. Gobblers up 27-25 with 2:19 to go. Almost thrown away by the Lakers. Omberg with the handle to Devin Bergen on the right wing. Dribbles way closer to the arc. Turnaround shot from Carrier is good. Mason Carrier, that is, for 2 more, tied at 27. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Brecken Williams and Nathan Price. They'll bring it across half court to Eli Christie. Down low, Alex Palm stops, hesitates, fires up the shot. Good for the Gobblers. Good hesitation from Alex Palm to fire one up and in for Aitkin. 29-27. Right corner, thrown away by the Lakers. Looking for Ethan Carrier in that right corner. He throws it away.
That was the 11th turnover for the Lakers here in the first half.
29-27 is the score. 1:42 to go. Gobblers will get the basketball to Eli Christie. Through the middle to Alex Palm. Outstretched now for Andrew Martinson. Down low to Nathan Price. To Brayton Smith. He'll drive inside the arc. Now dribbles his way into the right corner. Back to Alex Palm. Will reset the offense dangerously across that half-court line. To Brayton Smith. Room to work with. He'll throw a pass over to Eli Christie, top of the left side. Trying to go back as he throws one down low baseline to Martinson in the left corner. Christie drives, fires one back out to to Palm. Now to Brayton Smith. Gobblers, good ball handling, trying to catch the open opportunity that they have. To Brayton Smith, off the leg, will get a kick ball against Mason Omberg. Gobblers making the nice crisp passes to try to get them quick and away from Detroit Lakes with 1:07 to go here in this first half. 29-27 our score. Braden Smith will reset the offense across half court on the top of the right side. Back to Eli Christie. It's taken back by Christie, almost stolen away by the Lakers. Left corner for Alex Palm. Palm down along the baseline to Christie, to Nathan Price. Back out to Palm on the left wing to Braden Smith. Fires up a three. It's good for Braden Smith. 32-27, 42 seconds to go. To the Lakers. Across the timeline, working it left side. Now back up top for Devin Berg. Berg into the right corner. Three is on the way and good for, I believe, Mason Carrier. It was Carrier who knocked down the three. We were shielded from the Gobbler student section. Gobblers with 19 to go in the first half. Across half court to Braden Smith. He looks to drive, throws a pass back up, turned over by the Gobblers, and Detroit Lakes to Ohnberg across half court. Berg's going to fire up a three. It's good with 5 seconds to go. 33-32 to Eli Christie. 1 second, fires one up at the buzzer. Oh, just hits off the side of the backboard. It was in the area, but Eli Christie could not get that one to go. Halftime score, 33-32. Gobblers trail against Detroit Lakes, but it is a whale of a first half we've got here for this Mid-State Conference matchup. We're going to break here on the halftime, heading into the halftime show. We're going to look at our out-of-town scoreboard numbers from this first half, and second half adjustments coming up. Gobblers trail 33-32 on KKIN AM 930 FM 103.1, YourLiveEvent.com.
My name is Jared. Born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's JERRID.
I'm dreaming of a world where thinkers and doers collide, where technology creates pathways for new opportunities and ideas. I want to ask questions and shape the answers that lead to real and meaningful advancements in this digital era. I'm going to innovate the world someday.
Riverwood Healthcare Center in Aitkin provides total joint care for shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, hands, and wrists. Our team of highly skilled orthopedic surgeons use innovative procedures to increase mobility and reduce pain. Get back to the activities you enjoy. Learn more at riverwoodhealthcare.org. Riverwood Healthcare, your trusted leader for orthopedics and sports medicine.
I'm dreaming of a world where everyone has the opportunity for education. Where classrooms are not only a place to learn, but to make an impact. I will help the next generation of game changers and difference makers. I am going to teach the world someday.
Here in beautiful central Minnesota, we get to enjoy nature every day. At Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative, we understand because we live, work, and play here too. However, just because you're not in the big city doesn't mean you can't have access to great internet service. Let MLEC Fiber give you the fast and reliable internet you deserve. Check to see if MLEC Fiber is available where you live. Visit us online or call our office at 218-429-0433.
We are ISD.
Certainly made it as best as they could here, and especially with a game of runs to each side. Gobblers had a 7-point lead at one point, but Detroit Lakes, you can't count them out here in this matchup tonight.
No, back and forth all half. A great basketball. Turnovers even on the night. Both teams with 11 turnovers on the boards. Detroit Lakes nipping the Gobblers 11-9 in the first half there. Leading the way for the Lakers is Devin Berg with 11. Oliver Quam has 8. For the Gobblers, Eli Christie with 12. Braden Smith with 6 and Alex Palm with 5. the Gobblers have 6 guys on the score sheet, and the Lakers have 5 guys on the score sheet.
Yeah, it's been a widespread first half as well. Like he has said, Eli Christie with 12 points in the first half. But, you know, we mentioned one player in the pregame show, Andrew Martinson. As soon as he steps on the home floor, things have kind of, you know, slowed down for him. He's been kind of a road warrior for the Gobblers, but he's had a very impressive first half. The numbers may not be, you know, he's drawn some charges. He's seen some active hands defensively. He's been able to help put some buckets in indirectly here for the Gobblers.
Yeah, he's got 2 points, 3 rebounds. But things that don't show up on the score sheet, you know, he drew those charges, has played good defense, stepped in there, and played good defense down low, has a block on the night, and so a nice job by Andrew, off the bench and playing well for the Gobblers.
A very widespread first half we have for both teams tonight as the Aitkin Gobblers and Detroit Lakers at the halftime break. 33-32 the lead for the Lakers. We'll get another break here on the halftime show. Out-of-town scoreboard. Second half adjustments coming up as the Gobblers trail against Detroit Lakes boys high school basketball here on KKIN AM and also on yourliveevent.com.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
Mr. May's ornithology class. My last 6 years on the Aitkin All-Stars.
Going to Rumble on the Red wrestling tournament.
I was going to the state tournament last year for wrestling.
Making one of those last-minute shots against Crosby.
Going to state my 10th grade year for wrestling.
The Virginia tournament during basketball.
My chemistry class last year.
I would say the Virginia tournament.
Going to state my freshman year for dance. Being able to participate in multiple sports teams.
We always practice good sportsmanship and respect.
Go Gobblers. Go All-Stars.
I'm dreaming of a world where the crack of a bat is not just a hobby, but a lifestyle. Where I can build upon long traditions from the ground up. I want to work in an industry where all people can make their own field of dreams become reality. I'm going to elevate the world of sports someday.
If your vehicle has an unfortunate mishap, you want the best in quality bodywork. You need to take it to Aitkin Body Shop. They can handle any collision or auto glass repair, and they have a state-of-the-art facility and technology. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit them at 421 North Minnesota Avenue. Towing services also available. Give them a call at 218-927-2883. Remember the name that stands for quality and trust. That's Aitkin Body Shop, providing exceptional auto body collision and paint repair since 1974.
It's been more.
Welcome back here tonight to KKIN AM 930 FM translator 103.1. And for those also tuning in at yourliveevent.com, Paul Volt joined alongside with Jeremy Jansen. Our halftime score 33-32. Other halftime scores so far, games in action tonight. Crosby Ironton boys basketball up 39-30 against Park Rapids tonight. That game over on Skeeter 101.5. Of course, the other broadcasts, Detroit, our game, Detroit Lakes at Aitkin. McGregor is at number 14, ranked in Class A. Northland tonight. That one on Real Country 94.3. And Pequot Lakes is at Staples Motley tonight. So we've got a good host of mid-state conference games here for 3 of our 4 broadcasts here tonight. And Jeremy, as we get closer to the start of the second half here, I mean, both teams have done their jobs on both ends of the floor, but I think one glaring number, I mean, turnovers are even, rebounds are starting to look a little bit more even as well. It's just like how this has come along. This game may come down to whoever has the basketball last.
You're definitely correct in that. I think it's one possession game. If the Gobblers can continue to move the ball, make Detroit Lakes move on defense, and don't rush that shot. Look for the good one. They haven't done that thus far, and it'll benefit the Gobblers if they can continue to move the ball, play solid defense on the other end.
Led by the likes of Eli Christie, 12 points in the first half, 6 points as well for Braden Smith, 5 points as well from Alex Palm too, but really good mix of shots from outside, seeing what's open down low as well. The Gobblers had a really good shooting first half for the Gobblers as well, but again, second half coming up, and well, it's a widespread shooting as well for the likes of Detroit Lakes. 9 points in the first half for Devin Berg, 8 from Oliver Quam, and 7 for Mason Carrier through the first half. Second half action comes your way. The Aitkin Gobblers and the Detroit Lakes Lakers. Lakers up 1-33-32. Second half comes your way on the other side of this break here on the Gobbler and also yourliveevent.com.
since 1938. Purchasing a new Ford car, truck, or pre-owned vehicle from Aitkin Motors. Family owned and operated. Aitkin Motors offers you a stress-free car shopping experience. Need an oil change? New tires? Check out the low-price tire guarantee. Aitkin Motors has a full service department with factory-trained Ford technicians. For hours, appointments, and vehicle inventory, visit AitkinMotorsCO.com.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
My favorite teacher is Mr. Dustin Richters.
Favorite teacher is Mr. Miller.
Mr. Googe is my favorite teacher.
Definitely Miss Grader.
Definitely Miss Grader in the class biology.
Mr. May.
Right now is psychology.
Mr. Smith's my favorite teacher.
Mr. May's science class.
Any art class.
Mr. May in my ornithology class.
We always practice good sportsmanship and respect. Go Gobblers. Go All-Stars.
Go All-Stars.
Welcome back here tonight to Aitkin High School on the Gobbler. KKIN AM 930 FM translator 103.1 for those also tuning in with the audio stream at rjbroadcasting.com and also the video stream with yourliveevent.com. Aitkin Gobblers against the Detroit Lakes Lakers. The Lakers sneak out of the first half with a 1-point lead. Paul Vold, Jeremy Jansen as we get ready for the start of the second half here tonight. Fouls well in the favor of Detroit Lakes. Gobblers only had 5 to close out the first half as well. That's been a big benefactor for them, especially with the way that they're performing in this contest here tonight. Gobblers will start off the second half with the possession of the basketball. Fresh 18 minutes on the scoreboard. Brecken Williams will bring it across the timeline for the Gobblers to Braden Smith at the top of the circle. Tries to work it back left side to Brecken. He'll hand it off to him right then and there. Now working it up to the top of the right side. It will go into the left corner now for Eli Christie to Brecken Williams. Driving, Brecken doesn't get a lane to go with. He'll get it to Braden back out on that left wing once again. Up top now for Brecken, rolls it off his foot, gets it before it hits the half-court line. Brecken on the right wing now to pass to Alex Palm to Braden Smith. Gobblers have worked 30 seconds off the clock, looking for a good opportunity to shoot the basketball. Trailing by 1 at 33-32. Back to Braden, I should say, to Brecken. Into the left corner now for Eli Christie. He'll drive, throws up a wild runner, and it's good for the Gobblers to open up the second half. Eli Christie gives the Gobblers the lead, 34-33. Same starting 5 for both teams out on the floor to open up this second half. Pep Band makes its way off the gym floor in action as well. Mason Omberg, the only difference in the starting lineup for Detroit Lakes to start off the second half. Carrier is going to fire up a 3, no good. Out-muscled, but out-rebounded is Detroit Lakes as the rebound goes to Brecken Williams.
Nice box out there by Osmus, creating that rebound for Brecken.
16:35 to go as Brecken thought about the 3. His pass tipped out of bounds. Mason Carrier, last touch by him, and we'll give it right back to Aitkin. 34-33, our score. Halftime score over on Talk 100 KLKS as Eli Christie throws up another runner, goes up and in for 2 more. Pequot Lakes on top of Staples Motley, 29-22 at the half as well over on Talk 100 KLKS. Skip down low in the right corner now, back up top, firing it. Now pass in the lane. Oliver Quam met with some contact, and it's just going to be a straight-up turnover by the Lakers.
Yeah, just lost the handle. Going to go up strong, lost the handle, and turnover number 1 in the second half for the Lakers.
36-33 the score. Gobblers in transition to Eli Christie with his 16 points. Make it a missed basket as it's going to be out-muscling, but foul called against Aitkin. Looks like
Alex is going to get his first one.
First foul of the half as well belongs to the Gobblers, unfortunately. 36-33, Gobblers with the advantage with 16 minutes to go. 3-point lead to Devin Berg. Led the way, 9 points in the first half for the Lakers. Works it in Mason Carrier. Now to Oliver Quam at the free throw line. Just below that free throw line, up with the left-handed layup in and good. Back to a 1-point deficit again. It will be for Detroit Lakes. Near stolen pass in transition as
that's
Alex
Mason
Palm.
Carrier's third.
It will be Mason Carrier. That will be his third. Foul called against him as Alex Palm tried to be a recipient of a pass. 15:37 to go. Early foul as well for Carrier. No action off the bench there for Coach Moss as it's going to be stolen away this time as it's poked out of his hand by Carrier's hand by Brecken Williams, and will stay with Detroit Lakes. 15:29 to go in the second half. 36-35 inbound, top of the right side. Quam drives from the right elbow, pass down low. Marsh's basket's denied by Osmus as thrown out of bounds. Last touch by number 22 and Oliver Quam. It's actually going to be last touch by Aitkin,
He was trying to save the ball.
Interesting. Omberg will keep the basket as it's going to be inbounded right to Carrier for a three, and just like that, Detroit Lakes takes the lead, 39-36. 15-13 to go. Stolen in transition. Outletted to Marsh from the free throw lane, lays it up and in for two. A 4-point, make it 5-point swing now, and a 4-point lead for Detroit Lakes as Osmus takes the inbound. Cross-court heave the other way for Alex Palm across the timeline. Waits for a couple of his teammates across half court. Gobblers to Osmus. Jumper in the lane off the back of the rim. Fight for the rebound. It's still loose. Picked up by Devin Berg. Gobblers down by 4 at 40-36 with 14:43 to go in regulation. Mason Carrier to Devin Berg at the top of the circle. Left side to Mason Omberg. Omberg looks for a cut pass. He'll give it up to Oliver Quam. Back up to Berg. Firing a three. Good. Straight on. Gobblers find themselves down 7 now. And a timeout taken by Coach Scott Stanfield. 14:26 to go in the second half. Gobblers had a 3-point lead. It's turned back the other way to now a 7-point lead. 43-36. Gobblers trail on KKIN AM and also yourliveevent.com.
My roots run deep. I dream of a world where planting a seed can bring forth the food and knowledge our world needs right now. The field is my classroom, and I have the power to make a difference. I am going to feed the world someday.
Auto body collision and paint repair since 1974.
43-36 our score here with just 3.5 minutes into the start of our second half on the Gobbler and also yourliveevent.com. Paul Vold, Jeremy Jansen, a big turn of events here. Detroit Lakes getting back defensively and breaking up some passes from the Gobblers here to get some buckets on the other end of the floor, Jeremy.
Yeah, Gobblers having a little more trouble breaking that press here to start the second half. They had no problem first half. Detroit Lakes a little bit more active and able to get in those passing lanes.
Gobblers will try to do this in transition now with Braden Smith and Brecken Williams now going back and forth as Braden Smith will have to get it across half court before the 10-second call. They just do. Brecken Williams down along the right baseline. Pass is ripped out of his hands. Last touch by Detroit Lakes. It'll stay with Aitkin with 14:10 to go. Andrew Martinson will check back in for the Gobblers as coming out is going to be Alex Palm. 43-36 our score. Inbound left corner now for Braden Smith. Stops, pops a shot just outside the lane. Gobblers get a basket. Trailing now 43-38. Needed something out of that timeout, at least a little bit of something. Now to Mason Carrier, a three from the right wing off the front of the iron, no good. Rebounded down to Osmus. One shot and a rebound for the Gobblers defensively to Braden Smith. Double team on him in the left corner now for Brecken Williams. Cross-court heave for Eli Christie. Martinson just inside the arc, and another two for the Gobblers. 4-0 run out of that timeout for Aitkin, now trailing by 3 at 43-40. Olmberg, top of the left wing now, skips it over right side into the corner from Carrier to Marsh. Mason Carrier from the right corner knocks down a three. The answer the other way for Detroit Lakes, 46-40. 13:15 to go. Lots of time here in this second half. We'll go to Braden Smith. High cross arcing passes. Now to Isaac Osmus to Eli Christie from the free throw line. Draws the double team right corner for Martinson. Back to Brecken Williams. He'll drive into the right corner now. A pass in the lane. Turned over by the Gobblers. Stolen away from Brandon Marsh.
One too many passes there without attacking the basket.
Carrier is going to fire another three. Back-to-back threes for Mason Carrier, 49-40.
His fourth triple of the evening.
16 points in total for him. As Braden Smith will be fouled in transition. Now it's going to be interesting to see who's the guilty party of the foul here. Olmberg or Carrier. If it's Carrier, that's going to be his fourth.
No, they got Olmberg.
They got Olmberg with his second. Speaking of reprieves, that being one of them, as Olmberg and Brandon Marsh will check out. Brings back in number 10, Hunter Korth, and also number 3, Ethan Carrier. Both Carrier boys on the floor for Detroit Lakes into the right corner. Turned over by Aitkin. He's looking for Andrew Martinson in the right corner. Gobblers turn it over with 12:26 to play.
Fourth turnover this half for the Gobblers.
After having 11 in the first half, Gobblers got it within 3 points, then a couple of three-pointers from Ethan Carrier, built it back up. Now a 9-point advantage. Ethan Carrier to Devin Berg, out on the right wing. Look for a pass down low to Korth. Korth would turn around, 3 on the way from Carrier again. This one rattles all the way around and finally finds its way home, 52-40. Gobblers trail by double digits at 12, 52-40. Now across half court. A long high arcing pass again. Martinson, spinner in the lane. Foul back jumper, hits off the backboard 2-3 times before it lands in the hands of Ethan Carrier. Cross half court, Devin Berg free throw line. Driving is Quam, his shot no good. Blocking foul against Andrew Martinson. His first, Gobblers' second foul of the half.
Second trip to the line for Oliver Quam.
And the blocking foul. Continuation will go for Oliver Quam, the senior, shooting for it at 6'2". Knocks down the front end of 2 guaranteed free throws, 53-40. Now the score. A 20-8 run out of the halftime locker room for Detroit Lakes. 11:41 to play in this first half. Second free throw on its way and good. Stoppage here on the floor. Substitution in for the Gobblers. Brecken Williams will come out, brings back in Alex Palm. Andrew Martinson will do the inbounding for the Gobblers. Gets it to Eli Christie. Quickly into the hands of Alex Palm. Now back to Eli Christie again. Double team on him through the middle of the floor for Eli Christie. Left elbow, skip pass down low to Alex Palm. His shot could be hampered with, but it'll go to the free throw line, will be Alex Palm.
Oliver Quam's going to pick up his third.
That's going to be also, the third foul for Oliver Quam. First of 2 guaranteed free throws for Alex. Knocks down the first.
Alex' second trip to the line, 1 of 2 the first time.
6 points now in total for Alex Palm. .54, now 42 second free throw made by Alex Palm. 11.5 to go. 11.5 to go here in this contest. 54-42. Gobblers have trailed by as much as 12 here. It's been that as a turnover on a travel by Hunter Korth.
Second turnover for the Lakers here in the second half.
11:20 to go. No changes for either team here after that recent stoppage. Cross half court, Andrew Martinson. Turnaround pass, Nathan Price. He'll stop and fire a shot himself, even though he had Alex Palm down low, but missed opportunity for the Gobblers as it's taken back the other way by Detroit Lakes. Back out, 3 from Devin Berg is good.
His fifth triple of the evening.
Timeout taken on the floor. Looks like Aitkin wants it again. Trailing 57-42 with 10:57 to go here on KKIN AM and also on yourliveevent.com.
Here in beautiful central Minnesota, we get to enjoy nature every day. At Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative, we understand because we live, work, and play here too. However, just because you're not in the big city doesn't mean you can't have access to great internet service. Let MLEC Fiber give you the fast and reliable internet you deserve. Check to see if MLEC fiber is available where you live. Visit us online or call our office at 218-429-0433.
If your vehicle...
Welcome back here on KKIN AM 930 FM 103.1 The Gobbler, and also rjbroadcasting.com, yourliveevent.com. 57-42. The Gobblers have unfortunately missed a couple opportunities on both ends of the floor here tonight, and boy, Detroit Lakes has just hit some shots here in the second half, especially Mason Carrier, now Devin Berg hitting from outside.
From three the second half. They've got 30 of their 57 points have come from the three-point line.
Turnovers early on for Aitkin, if they just have not had a good enough response here on both ends of the floor. Unfortunately, 10:48 to go. Gobblers with the basketball across the half-court line with Brecken Williams checking in during the last stoppage. A reach on Hunter Korth, it looks like. That'll be his first on Nathan Price. Team's fourth of the half with 10:41 to go. 57-42. Inbound across, now reestablishing the offense across half court will be Eli Christie to Andrew Martinson, who's going to fire a three on the left wing. Good for Andrew Martinson. Cuts it back down to a 12-point deficit, 57-45 with 10.5 to go. Detroit Lakes on the other end of the floor. Ethan Carrier, another three-pointer. Good. You just can't stop Ethan. Make that Mason Carrier here in the second half. Back up to a 15-point lead, 60-45. Shooters are going to shoot here in the second half for Mason Carrier. Now 22 points this evening. Mason to Nathan Price. Eli Christie, pass back to him from the right corner. To Christie out on the wing, drives, lays it up and in for two. Gobblers cut it back down to a 13-point deficit, 60-47. 18 points on the night for Eli Christie. Braden Smith will look to check in for Aitkin on the next stoppage. To Oliver Quam, back out. Ethan Carrier, lackadaisical three, no good off the front of the rim, into the hands of Eli Christie. 9.5 to go, Gobblers trail by 13. Christie looking left side now on a pass to Brecken Williams. Brecken skips it over to Alex Palm, top of the right side between midcourt and the half-court line. Double team on Brecken. Three from Martinson the other side. Banks it in and good. Even with contact, Gobblers are down by 10 now. It's 60-50. Andrew Martinson now with 10 points on the night. Now across half court for Ethan Carrier in the right corner. Gobblers got to get a defensive stop. It will not go, but we will get a foul call. 2 free throws coming up here for Oliver Quam as he'll head his way to the free throw line. Martinson will.
5th and 6th free throw attempt coming here.
Andrew Martinson will get his second, team's 5th of the half. Is at the line is Oliver Quam once again for the Lakers. First free throw off the back of the iron, no good. Checking in substitutions. Brandon Marsh as well as Reese Borgman checking in for the first time here in the second half. Braden Smith in for the Gobblers as well. Nathan Price out for Aitkin. Second free throw on its way. And good for Oliver Quam.
Gobblers have an opportunity to cut it back to single digits here.
61-50, the deficit in front of them. Trailed by as much as 15 here in this second half. Gobblers with Eli Christie, shot blocked in lane and goes out of bounds. Last touched by the blocked shot of Brandon Marsh. As it will be 8:43 to go here in regulation. Gobblers will get it in now from the left side of the basket. Eli Christie at the lane. Spin around, left-handed shot off the back of the rim. Loose rebound picked up by Mason Carrier in transition. He'll take it himself out on that right wing, slowing up. Looks for a pass in the right corner from Marsh. Marsh holds up a pass at the top of the circle. Borgman to Ethan Carrier to Oliver Quam. Right corner, three for Mason Carrier. No good, but a rebound down to Marsh and a foul called on the floor against Aitkin. First time here in the second half, I believe, that Carrier has missed a three-pointer.
First time.
It's 5 of 5 at that point. Gobblers will sub back in Isaac Osmus as the foul called against Brecken Williams. That'll be his third. Alex Palm is out. Inbound to Brandon Marsh. Marsh to Reese Borgman in the right corner. Back to Marsh from the right elbow extended. Stops, pops a shot, good. Back up to a 13-point lead, 63-50, 8 minutes to go. Gobblers have a little bit of work to do, not only on the front end of the floor, but also have to get some stops defensively. Start with this offensive possession. Screen from Osmus to Brecken Williams. Left side to Andrew Martinson. Now gets it over to Brayton Smith. Smith looking for a flash pass in the paint. We get a foul called on the floor. It will stay with Aitkin, it looks like. Martinson trying to cut towards the basket. Foul called against Reese Borgman. That'll be his first. Team's fifth of the half. Gobblers will inbound to left of the basket with Brecken Williams handling those duties. Eli Christie left corner to Brayton Smith. Quickly on him is Reese Borgman at the free throw line, right elbow. Turn around, right-handed shot, trying to bank it in. Rebound to Osmus, up and in. Can't finish his shot. Bounces around into the hands of Mason Carrier as they'll give it up to Borgman across half court. Gobblers got to get those ones to go. Now they have to work defensively to Mason Carrier. Left wing draws a double team, but backing out are the Gobblers. Right side, Ethan Carrier for a three. Good.
His first points of the evening.
Come at a great time for a 16-point advantage at 66-50. Three-pointers have been the major factor in the second half for Detroit Lakes. Eli Christie loses the handle, regains it from the left wing as he draws a double team skip pass in the left corner for the Gobblers. Three from downtown from Brayton Smith, no good. Fight for a rebound. Marsh comes out with a loose change with under 7 to play. Gobblers trail 66-50. Reese Borgman to Ethan Carrier, top of the right side. Cross-court heave back to Borgman once again, sensing a 16-point lead. No rush on the offensive end for Detroit Lakes. Pushing his way in. Quam won't get the shot to go, but a rebound down to Isaac Osmus. 6.5 to play. Now will be Brecken Williams across half court. Fakes the handoff. It's stolen away by Carrier. He'll take it himself. He will jam it home for the Lakers. One-hand jam. Builds it up, a 68-50 lead. Carrier with now 24 points in this contest. First made field goal that wasn't from downtown for him in the second half alone. As we're going to reach in against the likes of Ethan Carrier. That'll be his second. 68-50. And what was a 1-point halftime deficit for Aitkin, they now trail 18 here in this second half. Under 6 to go. As Brayden Smith will inbound the basketball to the right of the right in front of the Gobbler bench, I should say. Under 6 to go. Brecken Williams in the right corner now. A pass to Isaac Osmus. It's poked away. Kept alive by the Lakers as Borgman will give it up to now number 21, Mason Omberg across half court. Left side for Borgman out on the left wing. Looks for a pass somewhere to penetrate through the middle now to Oliver Quam at the free throw line. Pushes his way in. Doesn't get the shot initially to go. Turns around, fires it up and in. 20. That is now the lead for Detroit Lakes at 70-50. Gobblers across half court, 5:18 to go, trailing 70-50. Now working to the top of the key for Alex Palm. Palm looks for a pass, somewhere to go with it. He'll just hand it off to Brayden Smith once again. At the top of the circle, backs out. Right side. Now for Eli Christie. Christie from the right elbow. Triple team on him. Fouled on his way to the basket. Looks like Eli will head to the free throw line. Shoot a pair. 7th team foul of the half as well for
Ethan Carrier's third.
Carrier, yes. Team 7th of the half. Exactly 5 minutes to play here in regulation. Eli Christie at the line. Knocks down the front end of 2.
Eli's third trip to the line. First time shooting a pair. The other 2 were for an and one.
Second free throw from Christie is up and good. Now makes it a 20-point night for Eli Christie. 70-52. Isaac Osmus out. Brings back in, I believe, Andrew Martinson for the Gobblers. As Olmberg will have it across half court from Borgman. Back up to Borgman at the top of the key. At the free throw line, now to Oliver Quam. Skips it back out now, left side to Ethan Carrier. Into left corner now for Brandon Marsh. Marsh inside the perimeter, now gets a A pass back up to Borgman. He'll look to drive from the left elbow extended. Stops outside the lane to Brandon Marsh. Circles at the free throw line. Left-handed turnaround jumper, no good. Eli Christie with the rebound. Christie will take it himself. Tries to find Alex Palm. Quickly, Martinson for a three off the side of the rim, no good. Oliver Quam will come with a full head of steam across the timeline. Ball loose out on the floor. We get a couple of kick balls the other side as the Gobblers, unfortunately, will not get the benefit of that loose ball, as it was loose and kind of kicked around from Eli Christie. And we'll see action off the bench for the Lakers. Checking in to inbound number 1, Tyler By, the number 0. Another substitution looking to check in with a 70-52 advantage. Number 14 also in, Nick Babolts. A fun fact about Detroit Lakes, they have a number 0 and a double zero as well.
Zero.
Yeah,
Yes.
very rare you see the 0-double-0 combination.
My 7-year-old pointed that out in the JV game and said, Dad, that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't, but yet it's a thing. As the three-pointer was missed by Babolts on the offensive end. Christie for a three, no good. Loose rebound, it's picked up by Babolts. Number 14 also checking in. Jake Havoc, number 42 for the Lakers, sensing this 18-point advantage. Loose ball on the floor, last touch by Detroit Lakes, gives it right back to Aitkin. Gobblers, unfortunately, early on here in the second half. Turnovers early, empty possessions. Three-pointers early and often from Mason Carrier, and the Lakers built up a 20-point lead and now trail by 18 with 3.5 to go here in regulation. To the right side for the likes of the Aitkin Gobblers, as it'll be Alex Palm just outside the lane to Braden Smith. Smith looks to hand it off, he will, to Brecken Williams. Williams with the handle of the basketball up top now, looking left side. It will go to Eli Christie in the lane. A foul called out on the floor. Looks like Babolts will be whistled for his first infraction. Team's 8th of the half. And that'll be, at least it'll be a 1-and-1.
I think you got him on a shooting foul.
I was going to say confirmation as well. We'll get 2 guaranteed free throws for Eli. Front end is good for the 2. Another substitution, and we'll see number 2, Aiden Lundy. He will come in for Ethan Carrier, as the Lakers digging deep into the bench with 3:18 to go here in regulation, as Detroit Lakes unfortunately will move on to 11-6 on the season. Second free throw from Eli is good, 70-54. It'll be Tyler By across half court for the Lakers. Up top now, left side, or right side I should say, for Nick Buboltz to Lundy. Out on the top of the right side on the wing. Down low, Borgman shot up in the lane, no good. Fight for a rebound as Christie takes a little bit of contact, but it's going to be the Gobblers with the basketball at 2, Braden Smith. Left side for Brecken Williams. Williams down low to Alex Palm, up against Buboltz. Stops, turnaround jumper off the side of the rim, no good. Brecken with a rebound. Turnaround jumper blocked out of the air, but the Gobblers regain it with Jake Pavek's block for the Lakers in the right corner. Brecken Williams stops outside the lane, fires one off the back of the rim, gets his own rebound, loses it actually, goes to Reese Borgman. Loose ball on the floor, Gobblers will come back with it again, 2.5 to go, trailing by 16 at 70-54. Christie, wild shot in the lane, he'll get 2 free throws. 2:22 to go as the Lakers whistled for a foul. Jake Pavek, who had the block shot initially, will end up with the foul. Front end of 2 is good for Eli Christie, making now 15-point deficit. 23 points tonight for Eli Christie. Waiting for that second one to come through, and it will. 26 points, trailing by 14 at 56, 70-56. 14-point deficit, foul on a reach against the Gobblers. Eli Christie with his 3rd. Fouls to give with 2:18 to go. Not relenting here, even down by 14. Gobblers still well within striking distance, but have to have a lot of things go their way across half court. And a foul on Andrew Martinson, his 3rd. 16 foul of the half for Aitkin. 3 fouls for Brecken Williams, Andrew Martinson, Eli Christie with 2:12 to go, trailing by 14. Buboltz will inbound to Borgman as loose ball handling, last touch by Aitkin. Trying to find Pavic down low. It's stripped out of his hands by Alex Palm. Gobblers will defend the inbound. Jumper from Tyler By is good. Off the immediate inbound, back up to a 16-point advantage at 72-56, under 2 to go. Gobblers to Eli Christie from the free throw line, drives, floater in the lane, no good, fight for his own rebound, he's got it, put back, opportunity is good. Down by 14 once again, a minute 45 to go, and loose ball, and they're gonna call foul. 7-team foul. And I think this one might be against Eli, as he hands the ball off to the official. Get a 1-and-1 on the other end of the floor. It will be Eli's 4th of the half. And we will see at the line Tyler By, sophomore point guard for Detroit Lakes. Front end a 1-and-1 for Tyler By. With a minute 43 to go in regulation, 72-58. First free throw is good. 73-58. Lakers with the lead.
Both free throws good there for Tyler. And a timeout for the Detroit Lakers.
74-58 our score here with a minute 43 to go in regulation, as there will be a timeout taken here on the floor. We'll take it with them as well. Just under 2 to play here. Lakers on top of Aitkin here on KKIN AM and also yourliveevent.com.
Want the best in quality bodywork? You need to take it to Aitkin Body Shop. They can handle any collision or auto glass repair, and they have a state-of-the-art facility and technology. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit them at 421 North Minnesota Avenue. Towing services also available. Give them a call at 218-927-2883. Remember the name that stands for quality and trust. That's Aitkin Body Shop, providing exceptional auto body collision and paint repair since 1974.
74-58 our score here on KKIN AM 930 FM 103.1 The Gobbler, and as well available at rjbroadcasting.com. 74-58 Detroit Lakes on top of Aitkin. It was a 1-point halftime deficit for the Gobblers, but again, as the second half carried on, Gobblers came out with early second half possessions that were empty. Mason Carrier and, well, the Lakers as a whole hit from the outside, and they haven't looked back since then. But a minute 38 to go. Eli Christie's going to drive. He will be fouled, and will be 2 free throws coming up for him. With a minute 36 to go, facing a 16-point deficit at 74-58. Foul assessed against Detroit Lakes. Looks like that will be there. Again, 2 guaranteed free throws no matter what. First free throw from Eli is good. Didn't quite get the number on the foul for the Lakers.
I did not either.
A couple changes on the floor as well for the Lakers. Second free throw is good.
Eli, 10 of 10 from the free throw line tonight.
28 points in total. Stolen inbound from Martinson. Can't get the first shot to go. Second opportunity for the Gobblers, even after the rebound from Eli Christie. No good. Out with it is Anthony Redding, wearing 00 for the Lakers in transition. Down low, opportunity for number 51, up and in. Blake Brandt, the senior, draws a raucous reaction from his teammates off the bench. Blake Brandt, 76-60. 2 free throws again for Eli Christie. 1:06 to play here in this contest. And a foul. As the Gobblers, Caden Strand, number 15, assessed the foul for Detroit Lakes. First free throw from Eli is good. 76-61. Now 29 points on the night for Eli Christie. Looks like Braden Smith out for the Gobblers. Brings in Ryan Alexander with a minute 6 to go here in this contest. Second free throw from Eli is good. It's a 30-piece tonight for Eli Christie. And a perfect, 12 for 12 at the free throw line?
12 for 12.
Wow.
And the Gobblers are 15 of 16 from the free throw line.
Well, you get that in reaction as well. But again, talking about this contest, the Gobblers impacting the inbound, stolen away by Ryan Alexander. To Eli Christie at the free throw line. Lays one wildly. Can't get the shot to roll in as Caden Strand with the rebound under a minute to go as the Gobblers in the front court defensively. Now to number 32, that being for them. 32 is Isaac Sweep. Shot in the lane for number 35 is up and in. That's Reed Henderson. 78-62 the score with 34 seconds remaining. Ryan Alexander on the left wing to Alex Palm at the top of the key. Drives from the free throw line out to Andrew Martinson for a three-pointer. Good for Andrew Martinson.
Andrew's third triple of the night.
Now brings it to 13 points on the night for the Gobblers. That being Andrew Martinson. With just 13 seconds to go, Detroit Lakes content to run out the clock here. 78-65. Gobblers, a little bit of a head scratcher. Overall performance was there, but unfortunately, early second half run.
In a hot hand for Detroit Lakes. You can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
He had a couple open possessions, couple early turnovers, but a great game by the Gobblers overall.
Way they've been playing here in the second half of the season as well. You can't hold your head on this one. 78-65 our final score. Gobblers fall tonight against Detroit Lakes. Post-game show comes up. Conversation with Coach Stanfield coming up here tonight. Of course, we'll also get our big deal player of the game, our Enbridge I-Bring the Energy player of the game, and more coming up here as the Gobblers fall tonight here on KKIN and yourliveevent.com.
It's been more than just a family tradition since 1938. Purchasing a new Ford car, truck, or pre-owned vehicle from Aitkin Motors. Family owned and operated. Aitkin Motors offers you a stress-free car shopping experience. Need an oil change? New tires? Check out the low-price tire guarantee. Aitkin Motors has a full service department with factory-trained Ford technicians. For hours, appointments, and vehicle inventory, visit AitkinMotorsCO.com.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
My favorite teacher is Mr. Dustin Richters.
Favorite teacher is Mr. Miller.
Mr. Googe is my favorite teacher.
Definitely Miss Grader. Definitely Miss Grader in the class biology.
Mr. May.
Right now is psychology. Mr. Smith's my favorite teacher.
Mr. May's science class.
Any art class.
Mr. May in my ornithology class.
We always practice good sportsmanship and respect. Go Gobblers. Go All-Stars.
My roots run deep. I dream of a world where planting a seed can bring forth the food and knowledge our world needs right now. The field is my classroom, and I have the power to make a difference. I am going to feed the world someday.
Here in beautiful central Minnesota, we get to enjoy nature every day. At Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative, we understand because we live, work, and play here too. However, just because you're not in the big city doesn't mean you can't have access to great internet service. Let MLEC Fiber give you the fast and reliable internet you deserve. Check to see if MLEC Fiber is available where you live. Visit us online or call our office at 218-429-0433.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's JERRID.
Welcome back here on KKIN, AM 930, FM translator 103.1, The Gobbler, as the Aitkin Gobblers tonight, boys high school basketball in this mid-state conference matchup, fall tonight by the score of 78-65. Gobblers to Detroit Lakes tonight It was a back-and-forth first half. 33-32 came out with a halftime lead, did Detroit Lakes, even with Aitkin leading by as much as 7 points in that first half. It ultimately went to the Lakers just before that halftime buzzer by just 1 point. Then the second half came rolling right through. Gobblers had a few costly turnovers early on, but Mason Carey in the second half was a man on fire from downtown, and the Lakers as well in that second half, building up as much as a 20-point lead and ultimately winning tonight 78-65, even with the Gobblers still very contentious throughout the game. Eli Christie finishing with 30 points in the loss tonight for Aitkin, but still a very good quality contest here tonight. Played hard from beginning to end as well. And, of course, here on the post-game show, Paul Vold joined alongside Jeremy Jansen. Like to hear from Coach Stanfield, his thoughts from this performance overall. Even coming off a 1-point win this past Friday, you come into tonight, the score may not be, ultimately indicative of how this contest, with it being a 13-point loss here tonight, Jeremy. I mean, this was a great matchup back and forth. You take away those early turnovers, maybe a couple of those three-pointers from Mason Carrier. This one's a one-possession win on either side tonight.
Yeah, you're not going to have nights where you run into the shooting like that they had in the second half. I mean, that was just, I think I had said at one time they were 6 for 6 before they missed their first. And so, they had a hot shooting hand in the second half. Gobblers, again, a couple empty possessions, couple turnovers that gave that deficit early. But ultimately, Gobblers, fought back, played well. They still played well in the second half. 15 and 16 from the free throw line. Coach Stanfield said that in the pregame. We got to get better, after the Park Rapids game. We didn't make a lot of free throws. 18 turnovers for the Gobblers, 15 for the Lakers. Gobblers ended up on rebounding 21-20. And so, a pretty even game across the board. Is just they made a few more shots than we did in the end.
Gobblers here tonight fall to the likes of Detroit Lakes by the score of that being, again, 78-65. A couple final scores already rolling in as well. An early night for us here on the airwaves of homegrown local radio. Crosby Ironton over on Skeeter 101.5 comes out with a 65-57 win against Park Rapids. And the other Mid-State Conference matchup has Pequot Lakes winning 57-41 against Staples Motley. More coming up here on the post-game show here after a break. Of course, we got a big deal player of the game, our Enbridge I Bring the Energy player of the game. We'll have Coach Stanfield coming up here on the other side of this break here on the Gobbler, as well as yourliveevent.com.
I'm dreaming of a world where thinkers and doers collide, where technology creates pathways for new opportunities and ideas. I want to ask questions and shape the answers that lead to real and meaningful advancements in this digital era. I'm going to innovate the world someday.
Riverwood Healthcare Center in Aitkin provides total joint care for shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, hands, and wrists. Our team of highly skilled orthopedic surgeons use innovative procedures to increase mobility and reduce pain. Get back to the activities you enjoy. Learn more at riverwoodhealthcare.org. Riverwood Healthcare, your trusted leader for orthopedics and sports medicine.
Welcome back here on the post-game show here tonight on KKIN AM 930 FM 103.1 The Gobbler. For those also tuning in at yourliveevent.com. Now joining us here on the post-game show, head coach for the Aitkin Gobblers boys basketball team, Coach Scott Stanfield. Tonight, Coach, you look at this contest as a whole. You're down one at halftime, and second half, a couple empty possessions and just hot shooting from a good player in Mason Carrier. Real first few minutes of that second half just got away from the Gobblers tonight.
Yeah, we started out okay the second half. Yeah. We actually jumped out and took the lead, and then just a couple turnovers during our press offense, which for 90% of the game was really good. And I think we just settled into one pattern too long, and that's my fault. And it's really hard to communicate on the opposite end of the court. In the first half, we were able to communicate which press offenses we wanted and really carved them up. And so we talked to the kids about that. When you see it, that they're kind of anticipating where we're going, change it up. And they all understood that. And it'll be good for us down the stretch that they take that part over. But all in all, I thought our kids played well. For the most part, they're a big school and a big physical team, and we battled. And like I said, I can't complain one bit because kids played with a lot of heart.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we mentioned before we got on the air, too, at least for this interview, too, the fact you can't really hold your head in this loss as well. You know, just a couple things that didn't go your way, and especially a couple early turnovers, like you said, with with Mason Carrier going for, 24 points and 6 of 6 to start the second half from three-point range for Detroit Lakes, too. I mean, but you did a lot of the little things right. 15 of 16 from free throws as well. You shot the ball well, really good distribution as well, and overall just, I would say just about a complete performance from my perspective. I mean,
I just think, if we knock the turnovers down from 18 to even 12, let's settle that number on 12, that's 6 possessions. And we were shooting good enough and moving good enough, we score on 4 of them, and 2 of them are threes. You're right there. So these games aren't that far apart. I don't know what the final ended up being, but 13, 14 point. That's only 4 possessions in the long run. And
speaking of those 4 possessions, Coach, the turnovers came, early in that second half, and there was 4 of them quick that caused that little run for them. And to your point, those 4 not at the right time.
If you take those away and they don't score on them, and we score on 2, we're up by 6-8 points. We just take care of the ball because they did get easy shots on that. And credit to them. They're a big, strong, physical team, and they pressed the whole game and played their zones fairly well. I thought we moved well against it. We had a good game plan. We sealed very well. Kids moved through it very well. So they executed everything we wanted them to do, and that's all you can ask. Because when you're physically outmatched at every spot, it can be daunting. Perham did that to us, and St. Cloud Cathedral, those teams that just kind of overwhelm you with size and strength. It's hard for sometimes our kids to fight through that. But I did tell them, if we'd have played this team a month ago, they'd have probably blown us out because we just weren't doing things as well as we are now. So it's a good sign and a good tune-up for Pequot. 2 of the best teams in the conference, we play them in the same week, I think is great. And we see where we're at, and then when we go, play Staples, Crosby, Park Rapids, we'll be in good shape. We'll be ready to go and compete with those guys a little harder and a little better.
To your point, Coach, you look at their big, strong, physical team. They had enough guys on the bench for 4 teams. I mean, they're deep. I mean, with a 3A school and I mean, and a nice basketball program.
Yeah, and they're a big 3A school. I mean, they're not on the verge. They're they'll probably be competing in the next couple years in the CLC. That's the league with Brainerd and Tech and those teams and Alex, and they'll compete well there. I watched them play Alexandria, and Alex is one of the best teams I've seen this year in Detroit Lakes. Played them well for 30 minutes, and then kind of did what we did, a few turnovers, and it spun out of control for them. But we can't complain of our kids, and we'll get back to practice on tomorrow and the next day and get ready for Pequot on Friday. That's always fun, and they're a great team too. So we just keep getting better. It's fun to watch this team get better because we're developing some depth, and that's fun too.
Yeah, Coach, look forward to that contest Friday at Pequot Lakes as well. And, Coach, as always, we thank you for coming on the Postgame Show.
Thanks.
Coach Scott Sandfield for your Aitkin Gobblers joins us here on the Postgame Show. Gobblers again fall 78-65 as we had a chance now to pick our big deal player of the game, brought to you by Atwater GM in Aitkin, Riverwood Healthcare, Pizza Ranch in Baxter, Little Falls, W.W. Thompson Concrete Products in Brainerd, BigDealAuctions.com, Cuyuna Regional Medical Center, Tykes Carpet Castle in Brainerd, Shannon's Auto Body in Brainerd, even the Takedown Gym in Brainerd. It's hard not to pick a player, Mason Carrier, tonight. 24 points on the night, 5 rebounds, and I think, 5 made threes in that second half as well, 17 in the second half in total there, Jeremy?
And 6 overall threes. He was, I think he was 6 to 7 on the night from behind the arc.
Right.
And so a nice game, and he hit them at crucial times when the Gobblers were right there hanging around. He hit them early in that second half to give them a little bit of separation. So a nice game by Mason Carrier.
Mason Carrier, a big deal player of the game here tonight with our Enbridge I Bring the Energy player of the game. You know, someone we kind of put up on a little bit of a pedestal for tonight, kind of threw out a little bit of a challenge here tonight. Andrew Martinson will put as our Enbridge I Bring the Energy player of the game, playing a big part off the bench here tonight for the Gobblers.
Yeah, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 3 triples in the second half. Played very good defense, drew a couple charges, had a couple blocks in there, and just quietly did a nice job. And we kind of challenged him, as we say. We haven't seen it at home, you know, but he's been doing it on the road. But we know that Andrew's got that in him, and he showed it tonight. And so a nice job by Andrew Martinson.
Andrew Martinson, our Enbridge I Bring the Energy player of the game here tonight, and that being for your Aitkin Gobblers. 78-65, our final score. We'll take one more break here before we start wrapping things up here from Aitkin tonight. Gobblers fall to Detroit Lakes here on the Gobbler, as well as yourliveevent.com.
I'm dreaming of a world where everyone has the opportunity for education. Where classrooms are not only a place to learn, but to make an impact. I will help the next generation of game changers and difference makers. I am going to teach the world someday.
Here in beautiful central Minnesota, we get to enjoy nature every day. At Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative, we understand because we live, work, and play here too. However, just because you're not in the big city doesn't mean you can't have access to great internet service. Let MLEC Fiber give you the fast and reliable internet you deserve. Check to see if MLEC Fiber is available where you live. Visit us online or call our office at 218-429-0433.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
Mr. May's ornithology class.
My last 6 years on the Aitkin All-Stars.
Going to Rumble on the Red wrestling tournament.
Was going to the state tournament last year for wrestling.
Making one of those last-minute shots against Crosby.
Going to state my 10th grade year for wrestling.
The Virginia tournament during basketball.
My chemistry class last year.
I would say the Virginia tournament.
Going to state my freshman year for dance. Being able to participate in multiple sports teams.
We always practice good sportsmanship and respect. Go Gobblers. Go All-Stars.
Welcome back one more time here on the Gobbler, KKIN, AM 930, FM translator 103.1. For those also tuning in at yourliveevent.com, Gobblers fall here 70-65. Leaders of the way for the Detroit Lakers this evening. Impressive performance, 24 points. Mason Carrier, 5 of 6 from three-point range, 6 made total three-pointers for Mason Carrier in the contest as well. Ended up being our big deal player of the game for the likes of the Detroit Lakes. Now 11-6 on the season. Detroit Lakes actually going to be in action Friday night against Park Rapids before they hit the gym floor once again in mid-state conference action. Gobblers tonight also fall, again, by the score 78-65 with, led by the way, Eli Christie, 30 points tonight. Impressive performance, going an impressive 12 for 12 from three-point range for the Aitkin Gobblers tonight. Gobblers also 15 of 16 from three-point range here tonight from free throw. Not three-point range. Boy, if it was three-point range, we'd have a completely different score and a completely different post-game show here this evening, while also seeing 13 points off the bench for Andrew Martinson, who is our Enbridge I Bring the Energy player of the game here this evening. Aitkin now falls to 6-12 on the 6-11 on the season. They'll be in action Friday night against Pequot Lakes as well. And again, we'll have coverage of that contest on, I believe that'll be on Cash 95.9, 3WIFM. Just looking ahead with our out-of-town scoreboard. Yes, Friday night, boys basketball, Pequot Lakes hosting Aitkin from the Pack. That'll be on Cash 95.9, the second game of a doubleheader with a pair of top-ranked teams in Class 2A. The girls, Perham at Pequot Lakes. That'll be a good one to start off the night of high school basketball over on Cash 95.9. Again, final scores here from our out-of-town scoreboard on Skeeter 101.5. Crosby Ironton wins 65-57 over their opponent in Park Rapids tonight over the Dave Galovich Gym. Final score with Pequot Lakes boys basketball winning against Staples Motley 57-41. As we start to wrap things up here tonight, of course, we'll be back in action here on yourliveevent.com. Coming up Thursday night, the final home event of the season for the Aitkin Gobbler Wrestlers. They'll be taking on Grand Rapids, starting with a 5:40 pre-match start on yourliveevent.com. As for the airwaves here tonight, we will have in store that will be coming up here on the Gobbler. It looks like not until Saturday with our Saturday Sports Wrap Coaches Show, but we'll have plenty more to offer coming up here. We'll have Minnesota Timberwolves basketball against Golden State. That'll be a 6:30 pregame right here on the Gobbler as well. But again, a big thank you to everybody for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. Aitkin Gobblers fall 78-65 against the Detroit Lakers. And again, a big thank you to everybody for tuning in to tonight. If you heard or saw some of our sponsors with tonight's broadcast, be sure to thank our sponsors with your patronage and always shop local here in the Brainerd Lakes area. Big thank you to Jeremy Jansen for joining us here on the pregame show, as well, I should say, during, and post-game as our color commentator, as well as, of course, keeping stats for us here throughout the entire season as well. Big thank you to Coach Scott Stanfield for the Aitkin Gobblers for joining us here on the pregame as well as the post-game show as well. And again, we'll be back in action with Aitkin Gobbler basketball. That'll be on Cash 95.9 3WI FM coming up here on a Friday night as the Gobblers will be in Pequot Lakes for boys high school basketball as well. But again, stay up to date, full scores, broadcast times and schedules by going to rjbroadcasting.com, as well as watch Aitkin Gobbler home sporting events by going to yourliveevent.com. Till next time, this is Paul Vold signing off from Aitkin High School. 78-65 our final score. Detroit Lakes knocks off your Aitkin Gobblers here tonight. Boys high school basketball on KKIN AM 930 FM Translator 103.1. A proud presentation of R&J Broadcasting Incorporated in the Brainerd Lakes area. Until next time, Paul Vold signing off from Aitkin High School. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night. Good night, and thanks again for tuning in, everybody. And good night, everybody, here with KKIN AM 930 FM Translator 103.1. And for those also tuning in at yourliveevent.com.